Hey, what's happening, guys? White Boy here. Hey, look, man, Sebastian Rogers case. Um, First and foremost, man, in no way am I doing this to bash Seth and by any means. I think the man loves the son, and I hope that that family, meaning Seth, Katie, Chris. I hope that they're they're able to reunite with Sebastian soon. Okay, first and foremost. And another thing, real fast, this has nothing to do, there's no information new here with anything to do with Sebastian. Look, across social media, you have people kind of picking apart both groups of people. The majority of people are bashing Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Let's be real. The tragedy pimps have fell that's their boogeyman, okay? There's been some information, it's not brand new. And I don't understand why it's out there because everyone likes to dig in for abuse claims and this and that. But there's court documentation on Katie Proudfoot and the restraining order against Seth. Now, look, for what it's worth, I understand that there is a lot of things paperwork wise and whatever else with Chris Proudfoot as well. Okay. I just don't understand why all that's out and not Seth. And the main reason here is before even coming across this, to my subscribers, the behavior of Seth Rogers, for what I've seen on YouTube, look, I was hoping when he said, let's put all this drama behind us, let's work together. I was looking for that outcome, but that's not what it's been. He's always taking shots at the guy, in my opinion, and I've voiced it to my subs here. I've said I feel like the guy is not quite over his ex, and it's almost like Katie left a good dude for a bad dude, a bad guy, the bad guy look. And after looking at this restraining order and watching his behavior on YouTube, I was dead right. Now look, what I'm going to do in this video is this. Okay, I'm going to read this restraining order. Here's how this goes. This is the intro. I'm going to play my reaction from a real fast clip on the last live stream. Coming up next, you get my initial reaction. And at the end, I'm going to read the restraining order. And in the description box, I will provide you a link to where I got this information from. It came from the platform Reddit. Now, in this link, I will not be showing. There is photos of Sebastian, bruises on him from Seth. I'm not going to put a minor on social media and do that. I'll provide the link if you'd like to see it for your viewing pleasure. You're grown. I don't make content for kids. You're welcome to go over there and check it out yourself. Okay, check it out. So here's the intro. I'm going to play my live breakdown this on the last live, a clip. If you don't want to watch the clip and you want the receipts, just fast forward to the end where I read and show the receipts on the screen. And quick correction, in this, we're doing this reverse, okay? I'm taking a clip from my live and adding it here, and then I'm going to add the receipts at the end. On the live, I said something that was incorrect, okay? Well, not so much incorrect. You'll see if you watch it. But this restraining order was valid, but it was lifted at some point later on in time. It's not forever. It was lifted. And also, y'all, after doing the live and this segment you're about to watch, I was thinking about it. If you guys remember, I was telling you guys about this Karen situation me and Noel going through, and I was telling you about I went to I got to experience a different part of court. It wasn't criminal court. It wasn't civil court. It was restraining order court with this Karen. Okay. I sat there, me and Will had to go to court with a neighbor lady, okay? We talked about this, and I experienced that, At first, my first instinct on these receipts is Katie just making all this up? She's involving people, neighbors, principals, etc. But you have to argue your point directly to a judge, okay? And to the person you're accusing and you want the restraining order is sitting right there with their lawyer. So this is very fact-based, these little hearings. It's up to a judge to grant or not grant you a restraining order. So keep that in mind. Anyhow, without further ado, clip and then receipts. Y'all take it easy and think for yourself. Be a critical thinker out here. But what you can do is be generous and smash that like button. demolish it, bitch slap it, if you will. And if you can, join the members. Enjoy. See you on the next restraining order filed. This is old news too. It's been out about a month, but a lot of channels aren't showing it. There's a restraining order filed by Katie Proudfoot on Seth Rogers. And the information in there is alarming. It has Seth being very abusive, slamming Sebastian Rogers, slapping Sebastian Rogers, walking out in the living room butt naked. Here's the thing. It's a restraining order. They had a divorce. Can we take that for face value? Can she be stretching the truth? Is it fact-based? Well, I don't know. You know what I do know? She involved the neighbors. She involved the principal of the school in this restraining order. So when you start naming witnesses, they can get called into a courtroom. You got to take it for something of substance. And the thing about this is I didn't even know this existed, but I've been saying for the longest time, the way that Seth acts on social media, he's always like slinging mud directly towards Chris. And he acts like he's not over Katie Proudfoot. That was my gut feeling, and I've said that on several live streams before this. This restraining order only validated that, because now I understand it. The ex says no contact, man. And then here comes this new guy in her life, a bad boy. You're a good boy. You're a good dude. Here comes a bad boy riding the bike and all. And you can't even talk to her like that. But now, and I'm not saying he did anything to his son. I think Seth does love his son. I'm not saying the Proudfoots did either. I'm just saying, I'm talking about this restraining order. Look here. It, to me, in my opinion, it validates him the way he's been acting on social media, because with Sebastian missing, it's, with Sebastian missing and all this attention on them, it's a way to get around that restraining order. It's a way to get around it. And now she can talk to him. They can communicate. That thing's out. The sun's gone. That thing's out the window right now. So just the way he's acting, it's just crazy, man. But if you haven't seen that, and a lot of channels are not sharing it. Since returning from deployment in December, I have witnessed a multitude of events from Seth. I have seen him hit Sebastian in the head, neck, and back. I have witnessed him, when taking his anger out on Sebastian, grab him with both hands, lift his entire body up, and slam him down, then proceed to beat him. He has on many cases whipped him with a belt and not paying attention to where he was hitting because he was so angry. My neighbors informed me that during my duty days, they have seen Sebastian on multiple occasions coming outside the house and crying, looking for his dad, because he has been gone for long periods of time. And he didn't know where he was. They told me they had to tell my son to go inside and lock the door when this occurred. Seth will on a regular basis just walk into the living room and get butt naked, not caring that Sebastian is in the area and sees this. On several occasions, when Sebastian expressed stress or anxiety about our separation or his daddy's anger, he would respond by telling Sebastian that this is all because of mommy doesn't want to love daddy anymore. By the second week of the school, teachers had already requested that Seth were to do him, making them feel uncomfortable. When we went to the school to meet his teacher before the school year, he had stated we had just finished explaining about Sebastian's diagnosis and about the fluid on his brain. And he did something to irritate his father, who then responded by hitting him in the head in front of the teacher. And when I addressed him about it and told him he could not do that and could not keep doing that because it's wrong, He told me I didn't hit him that hard, and it's fine, that people need to stop telling him how to raise his son. I found out when I took the restraining order to the school that they had contacted CPS, Child Protective Services, 1 week prior. The social worker and myself have seen behaviors from my son, such as waking up screaming and kicking in the middle of the night with tears, fear of making a mistake for the fear Daddy will beat him. He had an accident at school where he wet his pants, and was terrified for Daddy to find out. He is displaying aggressive behaviors that minors what his father says and docs. I have reached out to his doctor and I'm requesting assistance with therapy for PTSD in light of the child abuse and to help my son recover from this. I have spoken to the doctor and the referral is in place for therapy to start as soon as possible to help him with this transition and cope and recover from this trauma that he has been through. Seth has been monitoring all of my phone calls and not allowing me to speak with anyone, including my family, without listening, and he has been monitoring every text and call that I make to patronize me and keep me from telling people exactly what has been going on, hovering over every call I make. On 6/5/2016, Seth was very angry and belligerent. He stormed out of the house and got into that Chevy Cruze and peeled tires out of the parking lot. Approximately 30 minutes, give or take, later, he came back pulling in crooked and fast, jumped out of the car, and ran inside the house, looking for his gun, stating that he was going to kill that. My neighbor was over at the time and took recording of him during that time. I responded that he took his gun and tried to kill someone, he would end up in jail. Someone followed him and threw a soda at the car. The soda went all over the inside, outside, and the inside of the car. This would be the second screenshot I'm reading now. And pulled him out of the car through the driver's side window and punched him in the face. He said he did nothing to provoke this and refused to make a police report after being repeatedly advised to call the police and make an incident report. He did not have markings, but was exaggerating his limp for approximately 5 minutes before walking normal again. I have also received multiple complaints at various times throughout the past 4 to 6 months from neighbors that he makes them feel uncomfortable because he is standing out front confronting everyone when they come home or watching them. My neighbor is in unit blank, is in the process of adopting, and they have the persons come to the house on a regular basis. I caught Seth approximately 1 month ago confronting the gentleman because he parked in his spot and telling him he doesn't care who the F he is, and that if he does it again, he'll take action to have his car towed or he'll beat his ass. This was a social worker there to check the home, and he knew that. Attached are pictures of our son with the marks. I certify on a penalty of perjury, blah, blah, blah. Katie Proudfoot. Again, I'm not gonna show those pictures with the marks on Sebastian. However, if you're still listening, I will include in the description box the link to the Reddit post, and you can view it yourself. Take care, people. I feel that if people are going to talk about abuse and just Chris and Chris and Chris and Chris, hey, I feel like it should all be out there. I don't think Chris or Seth did anything regarding Sebastian's disappearance. And again, this is a follow-up on a gut feeling that I had watching Seth, his behavior, not being able to get over Katie. Y'all take care.